White Oak, this is James, and welcome to Monday Morning Theology. So this is a video series that we put out that connects what we learned on Sunday to your normal, everyday week. And so this year, one of our main goals is to reclaim the gospel wonder that life with God is good and that the gospel is amazing and Jesus is here and present in our lives. And so this past Sunday, we talked about the fall. It's this devastating story in the Bible that talks about the day when the first humans decided to go their own way instead of following the path that God has for them. And we all do that in our own lives, and the Bible calls this sin. But one thing that we wanted to do this Sunday was to expose sin as the counterfeit thing that it is. Sin is a counterfeit message that is going to be crushed by the glorious gospel. Sin is just cheap imitation to what God has for our lives. It cannot create anything on its own. It just tries to take things that God's created and it twists them and it promises a better life, but it only brings sorrow and death. And so if you're struggling with sin this week, or you've been struggling with sin, I feel like we all go through that. I'm struggling with it. I think one way to fight it is not through logic, but through fighting it with the superior pleasure in God himself. And so what I encourage you to do this week is to find one worship song that you really enjoy. Like this past Sunday, we sang Before the Throne of God Above. It's an amazing, poetic song. And when I'm singing that song, I don't want to sin. I see God as amazing. I see Jesus as glorious. And so I encourage you this week, find one song, one worship song that you really enjoy and listen to it every single day. I think as you do that, you're going to find that your affections and your heart for God are stirred. You're going to find that sin loses its power. God's going to become amazing and your life is just going to be wrapped up in what he's doing. So it's really going to change your perspective. So I encourage you, find one worship song this week and listen to it every day. I'm praying for you guys, and I hope that this year you will reclaim the gospel wonder. I love you, and I hope to see you next week at White Oak.